Hey you guys, it's the Gaming Mermaid and welcome to my channel. So if you guys follow me on Twitter, you will have seen that I created a little mesh edit. As you can see, I went from this to this, and I decided that I'm going to go ahead and show you step by step what I did to go through this process. So the first thing that you will need is Sims 4 Studio, and I will leave everything that you guys need in the description below. So you will need to sign up for their forums to be able to actually download it, and once you do, then you will also need Blender. So the first thing you'll want to do is open up the Sims 4 Studio, and when you get here, you're going to go over here to create a sim, and you're going to click on Create 3D Mesh. And then you're gonna go ahead and click on Create a Sim. Now for this purpose, I just used the tragic clown outfit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go through that, and then I'm gonna search up tragic, and this is the one that I used. So I'm gonna go ahead and click next, and then it's gonna want you to name that package file. So whenever it decides to load, there we go. So I'm just going to name this. So once that loads up, you're gonna come up with this. And the first thing we're gonna do, since we're going to edit this mesh to remove the little clown neck piece here, I'm gonna go over here to meshes, and I'm gonna go ahead and export that mesh. And you can name this whatever you'd like. So once that is exported, it's over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that on up, and you will need Blender in order to do so. So once you do that, you will have the avatar in Blender. So I'm gonna go over here to edit mode, and then I'm gonna go over to this side where you see all the different meshes, and I'm gonna click on this little arrow thing to find out where exactly we need to look for. So this is the mesh that has pretty much everything we need. It has all of the sections. I'm just going to move that over, and then I'm gonna click on this, which says keep UV and edit mode mesh selection in sync. So that will just allow us to have both of the UV map and the mesh itself selected. It's a little complicated, but it just lets us select part of the mesh on the UV map, and then you see it's selected on the actual mesh itself. So this is basically the neck piece that we are looking to remove. So what I'm going to do is press B, and then I can select a box which selects a good amount of it, and I'm going to press X, and then I'm going to click faces, and that pretty much removes everything that you see there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the rest, and that you can see is the back of the neck piece. So I'm going to click X and then face, and that removes that. But now you see there's some yellow pieces just hanging out, and it's nowhere on the UV map. So I'm going to go back over here and try to find another mesh that might have it. Here you can see that is where it is. So I'm going to click X, face, and now it is completely removed. So since that mesh has nothing on the UV map, we're going to go ahead and delete it. So I'm going to right click on that mesh and click delete. Now we can go ahead and save that. And then I'm going to open up Sims 4 Studio, and we're going to import that mesh. And once that is imported, you will see something that frustrated me for a few hours, and I could not figure it out for the life of me. As you can see, it's still showing that those yellow pieces that we removed. For some reason, it still shows up. I don't know why. So to save you guys hours of frustration, I'm going to show you how I figured out how to actually remove this. So what you're going to want to do is go over to the warehouse, click on that, and I don't know any easy way to do this. So basically what I did was I just clicked every single one to try and figure out which one was the culprit, and this requires a little bit of advanced depth of perception to know like where each piece of the mesh is in relation to the avatar's body. So I just kept clicking, and then eventually I found pretty much a full body. As you can see here, it's pretty much the entire body. And over here is basically those little flaps, those little yellow pieces. If I go back over to the body, you can see it's pretty much in the same location. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that and press OK. And I'm going to keep going down just to make sure, because I think there was another piece. So you can see the full body, and then you can see this tiny little piece. So if I compare it with the full body, you can see it's that little triangle piece that just refuses to go away. So there it is. And we're just going to go ahead and delete that. and then press OK. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is save the package, press OK, and then I'm going to click cancel, and then I'm going to go back into my project, and now that you see it's reloaded and now it's completely gone. That took me a few hours to figure out, but I just saved you guys that frustration. So yeah, it's a little annoying, and you're going to want to go ahead and go to each LOD and import the mesh into each one. So there's like an LOD 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think. So you're going to want to re-import the mesh for each one. I think it depends on the graphic settings that you have. So if you have a different graphic setting, like a lower one, it might use a different LOD. So you want to make sure that you import the mesh on each one so that it doesn't look weird if somebody changes their graphic settings or something like that. So I'm going to make sure that they're all in place, and now I'm going to resave it. And what you're going to want to do is export this texture, and again, you can name it whatever you'd like, and then you're going to want to go ahead and open that DDS file. So you will need Photoshop, GIMP, or any photo editor that allows you to open DDS files. So once you have that, I'm going to go ahead and just press OK, and this is what we have. So from here, you guys can check out my previous tutorials on how to do recolors. I've done a basic how to create custom content, which shows you the basics of everything that you need. So definitely check that out if you're completely new to making custom content. And I've also done a tutorial on specifically clothing recolors, so definitely check that out as well. For this purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try to remove some of the dirt. So first off, I'm going to use a basic layer just to clean it up, and I'm going to put that under screen. And that pretty much gets rid of most of the dirt for me. But as you can see on the neck piece and parts of the onesie itself still have that little dirty tinge to it. So I'm going to use the clone tool, and I'm going to clone some selections by pressing Alt on certain sections and then just basically clicking just so that we can try and remove those little dirt spots. And then on the neck piece itself, I'm just going to do that same process to remove that darkened area. And that is pretty much it. So yeah, if I figure out how to do this properly, I will do a proper tutorial, but I wanted to show you how I figured this out so far, and I hope that you guys find this helpful. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!